Ida, our wolfhound, was a Bill's dog originally. Um, she's like she's acting depressed and like not really wanting to eat a lot. And when
Oh,
Phil died, she also had a false pregnancy, so she was like super depressed. And I
wow.
feel like, yeah, and I feel like her body's remembering that. So I was like, it's for like the past week, I've been like, what's going on with you? Like, why aren't you eating? I mean, she's a freaking Irish wolfhound. They got big ass appetites.
Yeah.
Like normally she does, but
I
yeah.
didn't
And
know animals have false pregnancies.
yeah. Well, we took Ida to the vet down in Mechanic Falls. Izzy, you gotta move, honey. Just a little bit. Okay. And well, she was going in for something else, and then like the doctor did the exam and was like felt her stomach and felt like she had babies in there. So she came back like on like that was like a Thursday or Friday, and she came back on Monday to have like an X-ray done. He was like, that must have been a really big poop
Oh, I know.
inside of you. But she was like, I feel like she was definitely like, come here, Anne. My goodness. Come here. My Shih Tzu. All of our dogs are aging dogs. Annie.
Aw.
Yeah, she's wicked cute. So she peed on the she's on heart medicine. She has congestive heart failure, unfortunately.
God,
But
it's so hard with animals.
mm-hmm. Yeah, my newest dog Harley, who I wasn't intending on getting, but that's the way the world works and the universe works.
Mhm.
So he's 7. Like he just turned 7. Like that's the youngest dog that we have here. You know, we got old dogs. That's okay.
Mm.
But yeah,
Well,
it is hard. Anyways, I'm
it
sorry.
is super hard. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. Um, the subject that we were going to do today, we've done the opposite. I don't. You might not have, but often I
Hmm.
go to a mind trip looking for like who would we be if we were doing this certain thing in our life that we want to be doing and have trouble getting there.
Hmm.
So, sitting in the frequency of the thing would help you get to the thing. But I, because like I work with a lot of people and so many people, including myself, can't do what we want to do, basically. You know what I mean? Like we know that we can create our life, but we have so much stuff in the way that you try to do what you want to do and there's so many
Hmm.
layers to get through to
Oh
get
yeah.
to there, right?
I feel that totally.
So today what I wanted to do was one talk about like what we think is in the way, because that's some of it, right? Like, why can't you move? Well, I don't have enough money or my credit sucks, right? So that would be in the way, if that was like the thing that we wanted to do. So we're going to talk about that. And then the mind trip is just going to be one simple door to tell us what the hell is the problem. You know what I mean? And we'll see, what will come up. I just thought I have never really done it this way. I don't think. I'm getting to the point where I've done so many of them, I forget like exactly what we've done, but I don't think we've ever done it exactly this way. So it'll be curious to see.
Oh yeah, it's good to try new things sometimes and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about what is the thing that you've been trying, like that you want to do, and then what do you think is in the way of doing
Mm, yeah. Okay, hang on a minute. I'll close my door real quick.
it?
But my other dog Harley came in. But anyways, part of that is like me just dealing with these. It's more than just my physical health, but mental health too. All these health issues that I've been dealing with like the ulcerative colitis and having, all the surgeries and everything. It's just like the healing is like I'm making progress, but it's very like pace, a glacial pace kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, and of course, I know my ego's like, wants everything yesterday done. And that's part of the reason that I didn't slow down, you know what I mean? So part of that, I think also what's keeping me back is like, one, if I do start feeling like even a little bit better, then I get like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And it's like, you gotta not just do, you gotta be and sit still kind of thing. But also part of it is like, I'm on disability right now, you know, and like, I know that you can go and like work like part-time or whatever. And I know it can, I'm sure it can be self-employment too, you know, and still receive it. But it's like, I still don't even think I'm at the work part time kind of thing. You know what I mean? But it's like me like not knowing how I'll be financially supported because it's been so up in the air for me, like really unstable since like 2018. And that's like, and part of it is like me not wanting to let go and like trusting. That
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm sure it does,
Oh,
but
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely does. So
Mhm.
would you say the thing that you would like to just do is to be independently financially like comfortable? I can't hear you.
Say something.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you now. I'm sorry. Everything that you were saying in that last little bit did not come through.
Oh.
Gatorade, Gatorade's still in effect. I know we're in the shadow. So
What I didn't say much. All I said is so the
okay.
thing that you would like to do is be financially comfortable in your independently financially comfortable.
Mm-hmm. I
And
mean, yes. Part of it is I live in a communal situation with like 5 people, you know. I can't like just rely on the disability, like they have to bring in money too. So yeah,
right,
but anyways, like being also, yeah, that, but also like being at a point that I feel like I could work and be healthy enough to do that, you
okay.
know, and they're probably intertwined, but
Yes. It's good you said that out loud though.
mm-hmm.
So the things that you think are in the way of that, what would that be? I mean, you've kind of
Me,
said all, but just like do it
well,
in a
part of
little.
it is me not like trusting and afraid. I think part of it is also like afraid of like letting go of control,
Mhm.
you know, because I feel like my life has been so out of control when, especially when you have a chronic illness, you know, and even though like my last surgery was 3 years ago, you know, not quite 3 years ago, we're coming up on it, like maybe for 2.5. Doesn't matter. I've been in PT almost that whole time, like physical therapy. I go every week.
Wow.
So I don't know. That was a long tangent.
Yeah, no, it's just you and me, so you can
Yeah.
you have plenty of time. Um, all right. So you I think I want to say this before we go to the mind trip.
Yeah.
We know that we should, if we didn't have all of our lenses up that we're looking through, be able to wake up in the morning and say, this is what I'm going to do. And then the universe should co create with us if we were at the right frequency to make it all happen, right? That's the way I think. I think it's possible. I've been feeling it occasionally lately, and
Hmm.
I think it's possible.
I
But
agree with you.
yeah, so let's ask the question when we go in. Sorry, this text
No, no
caught
worries.
me off. I'm like, membership for what?
What do we got a membership for?
it's this Pilates place up the street that I really want to do, but it costs hundreds of dollars every month. And I have too many things that are
Every,
more priorities.
Oof.
So, but in the world of making everything happen, I'd be doing that, right?
Yeah.
That was
Oh, you
probably just,
will. It's just not that Pilates place.
yeah.
That's out of alignment. If it's that
Well,
much,
I
maybe
live in
not. I don't know.
like it's the Wilmington vibe, it's a beautiful,
Gotcha.
there's tons of machines, and
Mm-hmm.
I took a free class there once.
Yeah. So you're like, yes, I want to do this, but also, ooh, okay. But yeah, when you're busy too, it's like
Yeah.
you don't want to. Yeah. Commitments. I understand.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's the way it should be. But it's not. So I think the easy question would just be, why not? Right? Like if you go to
Mm-hmm.
your door and your intention is, why is it so hard? Why am I making it so hard? And I know because I've done this over, it's how I live my life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I surrender. I'm just intuitive. I've been practicing. I sit and what do I do next? Like intuitively, what do I do next? What do I do next to get to where I want to go? Which works really well. I've been finding, but it's hard to remember to do it because why would we do that? It's easier to worry, right?
That's where the mind goes to first, at least in my mind, a
Yeah.
lot of the time, especially with anxiety, because it's tied in with the colitis. Because and I might have said this to you before, but like I didn't even make that connection until like I started with my therapist 6 years ago, but it was a little bit in, like, I was like, holy shit, like they started at the same time when I was like 20. But yeah, no, okay, quick thing about stuff like that. There's a thing, like Vishen from like Mind Valley. He talks about Jose Silva and his like mind control method, but they just call it the Jose Silva method now. He was doing this thing about like counting down when you first wake up, like don't do anything with electronics, like counting down from 100, and like that will get you to the alpha state, and then you do it for like 7 to 10 days, and you bring it down to 50, whatever. Keep doing this. So like all it takes is like from 10 or like a snap, and you're like, okay, I'm in the alpha state. But like when I was trying to do that in the morning, and then like try to like imagine like whatever I had to do that day, like going smoothly or the way I wanted it seemed to align with that. So I feel like that's something that I just need to commit to doing. But I would still ask, obviously, why am I making it so hard? Because I do feel like,
Yeah.
there's a saboteur in all of us,
Yeah.
to varying degrees, worse than others.
I have had so many people say, I know what I have to do, but I just have to do it. I just have to do it. And I'll say, like, if this is a coaching situation, if you haven't done this for the past 3 years, but you just know you need to do it, there's something else in the way, right? There's something else in the way, something that's like a part of you that's like, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm afraid. Hold on, the girl, it's going to be late.
I don't know, worries.
I've even been like this past week, money's gotten a lot better for me, but I had a
That's
couple of days
good.
ago. Thank you. I've been working so hard every day. But the other day I was a little worried, and every time the thought came up, how you're like, oh, how am I going to pay this bill, or blah 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 blah. And I started just saying, I hear you, but we're not, like, you're not in charge anymore. Like, we're not doing this worry, this thinking, it's not going to work or whatever. And I was actually doing that last night because I'm like thinking about it, and then I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I treated that part of myself as something separate. And even this morning when I woke up, the first thing was like, should I worry? And then I opened my bank account and there was actually my daughter got paid, which like we share money. So,
I
you know, it all
understand.
it's fine,
Mm-hmm.
fine. So yeah,
So I'm
but
glad though. I'm glad that that came in for you. You know, you're
yeah,
just.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, I
But it,
feel. I feel. I feel that. You know, it's hard not to worry
but the
sometimes.
less that we convince ourselves that
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to worry, and we just stay in a like that, it's so corny, but that like gratitude
No, it's true.
works.
I know that like if I'm starting to especially like with anxiety or like overthinking about stuff like that and worrying, like if I like just say or write down or like say out loud like 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for, it really like helps put things in perspective and kind of like shift my mood and shift that energy out.
It, exactly. It literally changes our frequency.
Yeah. Yeah, I have experienced that strongly, you know, and that's why I really try to have a super gratitude attitude, you know. Um, and I feel like that's one of the things I'm supposed to share with people too.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, that would be a practice. I don't see many
Mm-hmm.
doing it, but
No.
literally you could hire you, someone could hire you to just do a gratitude practice. That's such a good idea. 10 minutes a day. If someone hired you, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm just thinking about it.
No, it's okay. I appreciate it.
If someone hired you 5 days a week, because I do this like for coaching, for like business coaching, I'll
Mm-hmm.
sell like a 5 or 7 day in a row business coaching thing. You could do like 5 minutes or 10 minutes with someone on Zoom, charge whatever, maybe $50 a week or something, and just come on with them and help them go through their gratitude as accountability.
Mm, I would make a good accountability partner for stuff like that. Well, and more than that, but obviously, you know, it's hard to find
And,
those.
uh,
Let's be
that's a really
honest.
good idea.
No, I appreciate your good idea. Say, I will. I'm making note of that.
Gratitude.
Um,
It's a gratitude coach. I just made it
mm,
up.
yeah. I graduated from the University of. Thank you. No, that's awesome.
Just
It's like,
waiting for Peggy because
oh, it's fine. No worries. Like I said, I'm.
Georgie, hi.
Is it a kitty?
My little pug.
Or
My
your
little
puggy dog?
my
Yeah.
little blind puggy.
Oh, Anne-Marie is going blind and deaf. I feel you.
The
Is
deaf
it jo-
that's so
jo-
hard.
It is, and I didn't know if that was like a thing of congestive heart failure or not. But my mom's uh King Charles Cavalier, her who is about we think around a year older than Anne-Marie, so she's 15 and a half, 16, something like that. um, she has it too. And I noticed that like her hearing doesn't seem to be that good. She's worse blind than Amory is. Yes,
Mm,
I love them.
hard.
And Amory is like my first baby, like my actual first, my own. I mean, my boyfriend at the time got her for me, but like she was always my dog. You know, he got her for me. You know, and we've been together since 2011, and I'm like, oh, and that's when
Oh,
I was like, Harley, the new dog that I got, he's a German Shepherd mix. Um, I had this thought, and then of course Jen, who's my other roommate, but also like my soul sister, we both had the same thought. I'm like, what if Harley came into my life because Anne-Marie is on her way out, which she is. I mean, obviously, but like I don't know how close it is. She's doing pretty all right, but you know, I read that in the thing that it was like they live up like usually on average up to 2 years, or can live up to 2 years after, depending on how bad it is. She's only on one heart med right now,
that's
so
scary.
It is, you know, and
Peggy.
it's like, see, it's how my grandma died. So it's also like,
Well, I'm gonna fill you in what we're doing real quick if you want, because it's just the two of you guys, and we already went through the questions, but it's super easy. It's a easy one. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Me?
Yeah.
Eh, sorta, yeah.
I didn't know what you like if you were getting caught
Oh,
up with stuff.
I had to go get a Beamer treatment to
That's,
my gut and my eyes.
that's good. All
I
right.
just-
So
I stepped by the landlady and a neighbor, and
I get it. Today's been a weird day.
very.
Really?
mhm.
My daughter works at a coffee shop. She wasn't at work, thank God. Her friend who was working calls hysterical crying. There was this guy that called all the time. My daughter or other people are alone at the coffee shop. Like this girl was just turned 18. Like it's not right. But
No.
anyway, someone called on the phone, really angry and like hostiles, talking about money and how money was owed, and like it was the police were going to get involved. It was a fucking scam.
Ugh.
But he instructed her to go to the dollar store, put these numbers in, and that everything would be all right if she did that. God knows why she did it. Like that's a whole thing. But she locked up the coffee store, went to the dollar store and put in the numbers that they had texted to her. $500 they took out of, I don't know how, out of the drawer of the coffee shop. I don't know how. And then when they went to go look at the numbers on the text, the numbers were gone. They deleted the text that they had sent her.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
She was
it's so
hysterical.
terrible.
Yeah.
And then like 10 minutes later, my daughter's girlfriend calls. She works at Barnes and Noble, and someone just walked out with a $500 Lego set, and she had to like report.
Oh, that's also terrible to have
Yeah.
to deal with that.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
They should have 18-year-olds working in a coffee shop or much of anywhere by themselves.
No, agreed
Charge
wholeheartedly.
anybody.
They get all kinds of like people
Yeah.
coming and wanting money or just crazy.
Hitting on them, probably. There's all kinds of things that could happen. It's just
Yeah.
nuts.
Mhm.
No, I don't like it. I've been talking to her about, she's like, I don't feel safe, but then she doesn't want to leave either. Like, I'm like, you need to get out of there.
It's really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's just my story. But okay, so today's topic is, you know how we go on a mind trip and we're like, where's the part of me that's already doing the thing I want to do? Right. Well, we're going to turn it around because I thought this might be a fun exercise. So basically, like we've talked about this, like, what the hell is wrong with us that we're not doing the thing we want to do? You know, like years and years later, we're like, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. And it doesn't happen, or we're like trying to get through it. And so the question, here's two questions. What is the thing you just really want to do and you're having trouble doing? And talk a little bit about what you think is in the way. And then what we're going to do is go on the mind trip to just one door, and behind the door is what is holding us up. I thought that would be curious to do. Like, I might, while you guys go in the room, I might even close my eyes and go in a room myself because I'm really curious. You know what I mean? What would come up for me too?
Yeah.
Because I think it's, I don't know. I think it would be interesting. So I'll ask you those questions. Like, what's the thing that you just really want to do that you're not doing?
I just want to make a living or be able to supplement my living with helping people get in touch with themselves and their creativity and their intuition and in a variety of ways.
And what do you think's in the way?
Just the things that I haven't managed to move through yet, the traumas and stuff, conditioning.
All right, so let's go see what's behind door number 1. What is the problem? That's what, and like maybe, and you know, I say problem, but I know it's not a problem, right? Like these are the things that we have to work through. That's why we're here. And really, why we're here isn't to achieve what we want to achieve. It's to go through the process of getting there, which is our process of healing, right? So when I say what's the problem, I don't mean it in a way that there is a problem. It's more like, hey, if we can get a snapshot of what's in the way of our bliss, then what's it look like?
Just a minute to go take care of something, right?
I just had to kick my dogs out of the room. Marie was like whining and wanting, I don't know what she wants. But I was like, sorry, honey.
I can't hear her, if just by the way. Like
well, that's good. Oh, that's okay. Well, when she started whining, it's because I muted it.
I don't. That's why I didn't hear.
That could be why. It wasn't terrible, but I was like, yeah. Still doesn't sound nice, but
okay.
Yeah, she probably wants water.
All right, you good? All right, so just get comfy. Close your eyes. And I'm going to say this because I guess I'm just seeing it. Maybe take a minute and give yourself a little energetic shower. So just imagining some light over your head that's coming out of a shower head. And just let the light come down. Just washing away anything, any worries of the day, any environmental garbage maybe that we're carrying around. Just let it all wash away. And then when you feel you're ready, just start to concentrate on your breath for a moment and start to take your breaths way down in your belly, almost like way down in your pelvis, letting it expand while you're taking your breaths in, bringing the breath all the way up to the top of your shoulders. And then as you exhale, making sure, even if you consciously bring your belly in with the breath, to just exhale completely and then start back from the beginning, inhaling from the bottom, moving all the way up the body, letting your belly pop out. Nobody cares. All the way up to your shoulders. Maybe even if you're feeling around your shoulders, you feel your shoulders start to relax, maybe some crinkles and cracks, and then exhaling completely. And then bringing your attention up to your face. I wanted to say face. Bringing your vision that's used to looking out, you're turning it in and down to your heart. And the same with your hearing, bringing your hearing within and down to your heart. And then bringing your attention down to your solar plexus. And just taking a couple of breaths with the intention of relaxing that part of your body, noticing that maybe your hips could relax to let your belly and diaphragm move down a little bit. And making an intention at your diaphragm, at your solar plexus, the place where how you feel about yourself lives, about this mind trip. So maybe just getting a glimpse at what's in the way of you creating this part of your life that you want. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk off on your path. And as you walk down your path, just taking a moment to explore this non-physical place, adding things if you like, inviting company if you'd like, and just taking the whole time here to touch things and taste things and smell things, listen for things, talk to whomever may be around you. And remember, this is like a lucid dream, so you can create whatever you want here, or you can get rid of whatever you don't want. And when you feel pretty anchored here in the non-physical, I'd like you to start walking towards your building. And as you just maybe take in what your building looks like this time, you're going to look for the door in. It could be in the front or the back or the side. I had someone yesterday who had a tree house, or it might be a ladder. And then just standing within your building and just looking around for a minute, taking it in, noticing if anything has changed, if this is your regular place to go. You might even have someone there that wants to help you. And what we're going to look for is the door to the answer of your question. What's in the way of achieving this goal you want? When you find the door, take a moment and explore the door, the outside of the door, what it looks like, what color it is, what markings it has. Then make your intention of what you're looking for in here. And then when you're ready, you can open the door and anticipate a whole scene in front of you that's going to help you understand what's in the way. And as you explore the room, just remember you can have help and explore all the nooks and crannies of it. Ask questions in there. Your room may not, it may not even be a room. You might have been transported to somewhere else. That's okay too. And while you guys are exploring, I'm going to hop in myself. Remember to ask questions. Or if you're feeling like you want to keep going, that is perfectly okay. If you're feeling like you have enough information, you can come on out and head towards the back of the door so that you can explore the back of the door. But I'm going to be quiet for a couple more minutes just so that you can prepare to get ready to go. Okay, so if you're ready, then you can start heading back out of the door after you look at the back of the door and moving back towards your body, walking down the path, exploring any last minute things if you happen to see anything. And then when you make it back to your body, you can just spend a moment making sure you're in your body, putting your toes in your hands and your hands, and zipping it up. Being present for a minute and taking a couple of deep breaths. And then when you're back, you can take notes around anything that you might have seen. I can't hear you.
I said I saw a lot of things.
Oh, that's good. Do you want to write it down?
Yeah. I'm gonna write it down at least. I usually have a notebook pulled out, but I'm writing it down now.
I know how many times I'm like, oh my God, like the next day later, I only remember a part of it.
This is so hard, especially when there's like a lot of details.
Yeah. It's too bad we can't like take a video while you're in there, right?
Oh, it'd be so much easier. Excuse me, look at bad tickle in my throat.
While you guys are writing, I'm going to go grab shirt because I'm cold.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
The air
definitely gotta say, yeah, when the sun starts going down, it starts getting chilly.
It's the air conditioner, you know, after a while it gets.
Oh yeah, no, I forget. Well, I don't really forget, but yeah, you're down south. That's I don't like living in AC.
It was
After a
like,
while, it gets cold and it gives me a headache if I like sit near it for too long.
yeah, it was like 85. I was out with the horses and I'm like, whew, a little bit
Oh, yeah.
hotter. It would be too hot for me.
Oh yeah, no, you got to be able to cool off. They are definitely a godsend. It's just I wish we didn't have to use them.
Yeah.
Is all my thing is. Especially since I'm in Maine. Come on.
I got this really cool sweatshirt from Goodwill the other day.
I love thrifting and Goodwill and such places. It's a nice color. Almost
Yeah,
like,
it's really cute. It's like a like a
yeah. I like that a lot. It is really cute.
pink.
Cooler than like a traditional turtleneck or anything.
Yeah. I got it in the bin at Goodwill for like $2, which is awesome.
Yeah. $2. Holla. You can't beat that. We actually have a place that's free here. It's called The Table.
Oh,
But we
that's cool.
also, yeah, and it's like they actually have like big girl stuff. I mean, not that I'm huge, but I have to wear big girl stuff. And but we drop off tons of stuff too, you know what I mean? And then other people bring food. We brought like animal food when we were doing like helping out with some of the animal places around here.
That's cool. Now I look like I
Yeah.
should be doing mind trips, right? Like
Yeah, definitely. She's ready.
I'm dressing the part.
Yes, you are. Sometimes it's, dress, play, whatever the part,
By
dress to
accident.
impress, all that too. All right.
All right. Well, you can, if you want to talk
Hmm.
about how it went, you can.
I see. Well, the first thing that I saw before we even went and did anything was myself. I was like a black teenage kid on a slave ship in a violent storm going across the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very vivid and very tumultuous. But anyways, there was that, which also I heard like Amistad, but not actually. Like I don't think it was like actually Amistad, but like the metaphor of like all of people who didn't make the voyage, the third passage, that sort of thing. But but also then I was like, okay, well, also like how do I like heal this or cut the cords from this or whatever? And they said like burn it, like burn it with fire. And then then I was like, well, what about like, is there anything in my current life, that is like holding me back and not allowing me to move forward? And like, I was like transported to like my parents' backyard, and um, I know like one of my soul pieces that's out is like a 16-year-old version of me that who is like not ready to go in, and this was like a couple years ago when this happened. And I think that was part of it, but also like I was going to like when I was seeing ghosts and getting it like and having like these powers or skills, mediumship skills, whatever, and like and just also like claircognizance and just like knowing things and everything. And it's like also that because I like covered my third eye is what I did, and that's like part of it. And I'm still untaping it because I got really scared. I watched The Exorcist. And I was like, it's based on real events. Somebody died making this movie. I do not want to be possessed by a demon. And
Oh, God.
also, my mom wasn't believing me. or my parents weren't believing me, but my dad did apologize, and I got what I could of apology from my mom, being like, "You have to understand, we grew up in really conservative households. Like nobody believed in this stuff." I'm like, I do understand now, especially more than I'm adult, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a lot, but that is what I experienced.
Wow. That slave ship that have you ever seen that before, or is that new?
That's new. I know that I've been a black person in past lives. Like I think I was like born on the bayou back in the day kind of thing too. Like involved with like voodoo or hoodoo or
Mhm.
one of those things. Um and I was like, I've also seen like in the first time I ever did Akashic Records meditation with my sister. I saw myself in like Mesopotamia as like a farmer, but I was like, like brown skin, not necessarily
Right.
African or whatever, But no, I've never experienced anything with like the being a slave or on a slave ship. But now I've never actually seen that movie, so now I want to go watch the movie
Oh, it's
and just see.
heartbreaking.
I'm
Oh,
sure it is. I'll probably cry. I'll probably have to watch it by myself. I don't know if anybody's watch it.
yeah. It's a good movie. But
Yeah,
it's
I know. Yeah, I
sad.
knew it was like so much. Everyone was ranting and raving about it when it came out and everything. But yeah, I'll just get my box of tissues with me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So that's stuff too that you can kind of dive into and
Mm-hmm.
note it, as you're going through your day and stuff is happening, you can be like, okay, how can I connect?
Yeah, I always appreciate those moments, especially when they do happen. The aha moments or the connections.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Peggy, how was it for you?
Well, I found myself on a unicycle and then I turned it into a bicycle and I saw a partridge and a pear tree. Weird. And then a fox and a frog. My house was the Volkswagen that I learned to drive in, like back
Interesting.
in like '68. It's kind of like my car.
Summer
And
love.
it's 60s. Yeah, I don't,
Oh,
oh no,
67
Come here,
technically.
Julie.
probably 67. I think it was before I got pregnant. Maybe, yeah. Anyway, it was very cramped and it was buried in the ground mostly. So I found a way to get in through it through the top, even though it didn't have like a sunroof. And it was still pretty cramped. So I made a portal to a room, and there were I said visions of things bending over backwards, kind of like Gumby, not Gumby doll. They don't look like Gumby dolls, but they're kind of like Gumby dolls or little toys or something bending over backwards and doing weird things. And then I don't remember what the door was on the front of the door. I went in, and then inside, my father was there right away, like doing this like really distracting thing, except he looked kind of like cartoonish. And I was getting really annoyed. And then my mother started up too from the other side, like
Wow.
a lot that they didn't want me to see, I guess. And I have seen a lot that they didn't want me to see, of course. So I told them to stop, and that they have not done what they promised me, and that I need for them to get the hell out of my way.
Awesome
Period.
job.
Stop that shit and let me proceed. And then they don't cooperate exactly. So I set up like a racetrack and tell them to go like race each other around the racetrack. And they do kind of start doing that. The back of the door was a like a 2-lane street, asphalt street, like the stripe up the middle. Which is really,
Interesting.
yeah. And then when I left, the Volkswagen had grown and kind of morphed. It kind of like gotten much bigger, and I think it was in the process of turning back into like a building, like a house or something. And there were luscious flowers, and something really significant happened toward the end, and I can't remember what it was.
Mm,
Maybe it'll come back later.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Got distracted. Yeah.
Well, that's a
I-
lot.
Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez.
And I did pretty much lay down the law.
I love that.
I did too, and they are dead, so
No,
It's never
that's
too late.
great.
though. It's never
No,
too late to like create that energy, right? Of like how it feels to stand up for yourself.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've met them before, but like more.
I'm sure they felt it.
Yeah, probably
No.
here.
Well, yeah. Well,
I did
Yeah.
a little bit, and I went up when I saw my door. It was the tail end of an elephant. So like to go in the door, I just like pushed the elephant tail, but then the elephant broke out of the door. And then I went in, and there was a 3-ring circus. Like it was just a circus. And I remember at one point I was like, I heard peanuts, which I associated with money, right? Like getting paid peanuts. And then I saw like a walkway to like a reader, right? Like a psychic kind of person. And I was kind of feeling like that feeling. And then I saw the Bad Witch and the Wizard of Oz.
She scared me so much
Yeah.
as a child.
No, I think it scared me too. And I don't know if it was, because I was hearing like I should be doing more readings because I'm really good at it. And I,
Mhm.
don't like, I don't know, there's some kind of I do readings all the time, but like I should be more prominent in the way that I'm doing it or something, like maybe, I don't know. But the 3-ring circus was, I think, because my question was just financial abundance, like just money everywhere. And with what I'm doing. And I think the 3-ring circus for me kind of represented I'm all over the place. Like I'm doing so much, so many different things. So yeah. That was
Yeah, I
my-
can see you being more prominent easily. But
I know.
it's like,
I don't know.
Well, you are good at reading, so I mean, that's probably a good sign that you should focus on it. Not to should you, but that would be a good idea to focus
maybe
on it
don't
more.
feel the pressure to be more prominent.
Yeah,
I've
just do what you feel called to.
There's a part of me that's been afraid of definitely being seen. Like, there's been parts of myself that I've seen that have basically said, don't do that. Like, it's dangerous. You'll die. I even at one point, there was like this guard that was guarding this part of me because she needed to be like kept safe because I don't know.
Because the outside
Yeah.
world was too dangerous, kind of thing.
Yeah. Or that
Oh.
my abilities should be kept secret or something for some other life.
Oh,
experience.
okay, gotcha. Yep.
It's
Yeah.
been dangerous sometimes.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Oh
Yeah.
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 But I don't think so much now,
Mm-mm.
you know,
People are waking up slow,
Yeah.
but people are waking up, I feel like.
well, there's a lot of people that can do it, you know, I mean, well, everybody can do, I mean, there's so many, the people in the program, like, I don't know, it blows me away to have even like, not even, but like Peggy does stuff that I'm like, oh, that's so cool, you know, like, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right.
I feel like everybody has wisdom they can share, you know, and or like some, you know, I love the piggyback messages too. Those are always fun.
So, well, take your information, and Peggy, I think that's great that you like interact with it that way.
Yeah, I think actually I'm older than my father was when he died. So
So you're already ahead in life then.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to my dad yesterday or this morning, I can't remember, and he's having trouble with his memory, so that's why I'm laughing. But he's like, well, I'm 80 years old, of course my memory is going to go, and of course my body, you know, and I'm like, I can't, he's not someone that would listen to me trying to say, just because you're 80 years old doesn't mean that you need to like not remember stuff. Like,
It's tough when they get. I see it with my grandma. I only have one living grandparent left, you know. Even my parents are like their
Yeah.
memory and shit, you know. The
terrible.
old, yeah. Well, hopefully it'll go better with your dad. I'm sorry.
It's just bad. There's been
Mhm.
a lot of bad news around his health lately, but it's
Yeah.
all right. He's comfortable about leaving, so you know, he talks a lot about it, like, it's my time, it's my time. And I believe him. Like, I believe he means that.
Yeah. I mean, and as much as like that's great because Phil was like that too, my partner, but it still is hard to hear sometimes, you know. It's like heartbreaking because like of course you don't want him to be like, you know, not living a good life, but also don't want him going at the same time either.
Yeah, and what I said is, he's like, well, if I forget, I'm just getting older and it's fine, it's no big deal. And I'm like, you're not in this alone, you know. like
Yeah.
like if there's stuff going on with his heart too. And I said, that's one thing, like, that's just is what it is. But if your memory is going and you're not doing anything to try to even find out what's wrong, everyone around you is like having to be involved in this craziness.
Hmm. Yeah. I said I mean, there are medicines that do work. My grandma has Alzheimer's, and honestly, we like the doctor was like, hopefully it will. Or, sorry, it's dementia. I shouldn't have said Alzheimer's. They did not say it's Alzheimer's, but anyways, it's still dementia. But anyways, they were like, well, hopefully she'll just, you know, won't get any worse than she was. But the medicine she was on actually like improved her memory. You know, I mean, her short-term memory's still shit, but like she's still really with her for being 95.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
that's really good.
yeah. So, I mean, hopefully he will go see what's going on with him, you know.
Well, this is the it's such a weird time. Aaron, I have to ask, like, say that the meeting's over, but there's another meeting after, so I stay. But the mind trip meeting is all over.
Okay.
Thank you for
Well,
coming.
yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. That was a really powerful mind trip. So I'll be definitely like meditating on that and journaling on that. So
Thank you.
awesome. You're welcome. I hope you both have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I
I don't know about this. I love the Mind Trip meeting, and there's new people every week, right?
Yeah. Was she
But-
new?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing readings for the past couple of years.
Oh, okay.
And I think she might have come, say that again.
She didn't seem like she was brand new.
No, like I've done a lot of readings for her, and I think she came to one. It's funny, like I give one free ticket to everyone, but every once in a while somebody like will sneak in without me, like, you know. But the Reiki and the alumni
Who's
meeting,
coming to the alumni meeting?
I have to admit, hold on, let me stop the recording.